Rev up your engines!
Maui no Kaioi. Hey, why do people have brand new cars when they're broke? Every third car on the road is brand new luxury car. It's the American way, you know. You're supposed to just keep buying things and you're never happy for long. So then you buy another car. Keep up with the Joneses, you know. It's the capitalist, materialistic society we live in. My grandfather used to say that years ago. He said, look at those people. They're driving a brand new Cadillac. And when I went to their house one time to get their car going from them, they're sitting on orange crates in their kitchen. So, some people are like that. They want to impress with what they're driving. Hey, I'm not one of them. Look at me. I'm driving a 94 Toyota Celica. I don't care. You know, as long as it runs, I'm happy. But a lot of people get suckered into that stuff. Just like these people get suckered into their phones. So what can you do? Just don't fall into that trap yourself and spend all your money on crap that's going to break in a few years and then buy more of it. Rick Davidson said, how come all vehicles are engineered to run max at 65, but everybody's driving 70 plus? Well, people will do whatever they want unless they can be stopped by some type of computer that won't let them go faster. Most cars get the best gas miles they can possibly get at 50 to 55 miles an hour. What you want to do is it would want to be the lowest RPM in the highest gear. So say you had a 6-speed transmission, it would be right when it shifts into 6th gear at the lowest RPM. That would be the highest gas mileage you're going to get. You know, people are in a hurry and they're zooming around and they're not thinking about stuff like that. They could make cars get really insanely high gas mileage if people would accept different things like a lighter car that doesn't weigh as much, but of course it would have to be smaller. And regardless of what anybody says, the bigger cars are always going to be safer than the smaller cars if there's an accident, because the accident, all that kinetic energy of the vehicle is dissipated into collision force when it hits something. If you're in a bigger vehicle, hit a smaller vehicle, what's going to happen? The bigger vehicle is going to push the smaller vehicle all over the place. And if you're in a smaller one, you're not going to be as safe, regardless of any kind of design they put into them. Jacob Rutgerson says, how common is sludge in German 1.8T engines? Is it caused by too long service intervals or poor design? A lot of it is too long service. People just are told, oh, you know, you only need to change your oil every 10,000 miles. It's a bunch of nonsense. Change your oil every 5,000 miles. You're not going to have sludge problems and stuff like that. Carbon buildup inside the engine, that's a design flaw. Carbon getting inside from the GDI system, that's not sludge. Sludge is just the oils breaking down. When I was a young kid, sludge was a big problem because some of the cars didn't even have oil filters and sludge just built up inside them. Sludge is because you don't change the oil enough. Tanner Fewer says, I have a question. Which can I use, Mobil 1 oil or Amazon Basic for F-150 King Ranch? You can use either. If you watch that video that I have about the Amazon 1 oil, it explains it all. All you care about is the rating that's rated by the American Petroleum Institute. And as long as it's the highest rating, they're all good oils. You can just go and find one that's the best price if you want to go buy money, or if you're a person who has brand loyalty, you could use either of them. They're both excellent oils. But my advice is, generally, if you buy an oil and you like it, just stick with it. Keep using the same oil, because all the manufacturers have slightly different additives they put in, and if you're happy with one, and an engine can get used to certain additives, you best to just stick with it and not switch all over the place. Joseph Michaud, and he says, Scotty, I bought an '03 Avalon. The parking prall slips. Is it able to improve or fix? That is a royal pain in the butt. When you put your car in park, kind of like a gear on an old-fashioned clock inside. Click, clack, click, clack. Put it in park. That locks the output shaft going to the wheel so that it won't move. Unfortunately, to replace or repair those things, you got to take the transmission off the vehicle. You got to take it all apart. It generally costs you well over $1,000 to fix that stupid thing. So what you can do now, and if you want to not have that happen in future cars, here's a simple thing. Come to a stop. Leave the car in drive. Put your emergency brake on nice and tight. Then put it in park, because the emergency brake will hold it. But if you live in a hilly area, if you do that, stop it and drive. Pull the brake on, then put it in park. That takes a lot of strain off. I do that, and I've never had one break in any of my cars, so that's what you can do. Useless Paperclip Crazy Outlaw Ass. Now, there's a great name. I got a '79 Buick Regal that won't start. The lights work. I found a broken fuse and the interior lights work now. I got it running a couple times by pushing in and out on the headlights. Realize on some of those '79s, I've seen it in the past. Some of them had the stupid anti-theft system that in order to start the car, you had to turn the key and push on the high beams. That's just how they were designed. If that works every time, just go ahead and do it. If it doesn't, then you got a problem in that anti-theft system and you're going to have to fix it. But at least the 79, it's pretty simple. You could just cut the wire from the ignition switch when you turn the starter on that has power. Just cut that and then splice it directly into the starter under the hood and bypass all that nonsense. I've done that on tons of those cars in the past.
So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.